Hello, fellow Espers. Reborn Guinan here. Bragan in the backdrop. He's taking me on today as his intern, so I'm gonna basically solo cast this, and he'll tell me when I mess up and stuff. We're gonna watch Xanxus, not to be confused with Zexus, because I would never call him that, and KamikazeMario 1v1 match. Uh, Both of these notable tag players getting their feet wet in 1v1. Xanxus has a name that he's made. Kamikaze's trying to make one. I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get the video started. One thing I'd like to point out before we get too far in here is this is actually a second time we had to start the recording over, and the first time was because he called Xanxus Xexus too many times. The one thing I am sad about, though, is we missed the good banter against Xexus.
Yeah, well, just know that Xexus, we called you out for not being in the tournament, but we love you. So we've got the Nature of Faith. We've seen this from Xanxus in, I think, every 1v1 match so far. It's his kind of feel the opponent out arsenal. It's got a diabolical trick, some good answers in purple, your Willow, Rian swords. He's got 4 aura and Fortress. Willow, I feel safe. Kamikaze, we haven't seen anything yet, but +1 power, 7 aura, +2. We've got 2 hard hitters. Both attacks and defenses are definitely usable at this point. We're going to get some painful attacks coming soon, one way or the other. I like breaking that. Punishes any ability to come over quickly. Xanxus loves overriding that starting point. I'd be surprised to see him run into an environmental and feel kind of bad. He probably has Return to Nature in here too. First attack's thrown, feeling out defense. We're not getting very far if we both have fortresses here.
Are you telling me that with all this game footage, you haven't yet memorized every skill in this arsenal when you're about to play him this week?
I basically know. I'm not playing him this week. What are you talking about? It's not in my group.
No, you play them in tag.
Oh, in tag. Oh, well, yeah. I keep tag secrets part separate. Don't worry about it. So we ended up breaking a flash with the Rian. It would have done 5. He decided to lose it. He's now in a less happy place. Good Muramasa breaking that fortress. That's hard to get rid of. Maybe his only way to do it. Unfortunate he missed the Ice Sword and took the counter attack. But now they're both on attacks, no defenses. Nope, I digress. Fortress and jump a Willow. Kamikaze is looking better. He doesn't have the health advantage, but he definitely has good attacks and a way to block. Note that Rian costs 4 and so does Fortress, so he can't make a perfect exchange between the two. Though Xanxus has Rian plus Cartwheel, which isn't too bad. We remember that purple of his is Turbulence. We're probably going to see that getting rid of the trick. It's hard to get that Willow. I mean, I don't jump, so it's a different story for me, but yeah. Alright, he's feeling safe with his flash hole going in. Kamikaze's still on Fortress. Gets rid of the Flame Sword. Dodges a Willow. Alright, things look a little better, though that Ice Sword hasn't done much, and it looks like he dropped it. Probably safe. It's hard to hit a Cartwheeler with it unless it's low cost, so you can hit it a couple times.
That Turbulence is going to take a lot of pressure off of him, because Kamikaze, having that diabolical trick, put a lot of pressure on him and his base. He's not going to be able to have that as leverage anymore.
Yeah, and now this aura is actually beautiful for Xanxus, having the ability to win aura trades where he otherwise might not have been able to. Flash is cheaper than Fortress, Willow's cheaper than Rian. He might be able to make some good exchanges for damage.
Moving with the Lightning Sword, we see the Return to Nature neutralizes the stats now. That's a really good call out of Kamikaze, because now what we were talking about, he's not going to be able to break the Fortress with a Willow Rian combo. He's going to have to rely on the Lightning Sword to get around it.
Yeah, and it's interesting, Xanxus leaving the aura says he's still worried about being topped.
He doesn't get it. The Angel's Wing comes in clutch for the first time in its life.
It was really important. That bluff where he had less than 4 aura and the Angel's Wing was available but unknown at the time.
Oh, he almost manages to knock himself out of the game there, dropping the bridge.
That
but the timing,
loss. Oh.
The Willow timing baits out the Angel's Wing early, and he takes a 6 damage combo.
I would be scared if I'm Kamikaze, even if I have 2 shields here. We know we have 2 lethal threats. They can be timed in a very dangerous manner. Um,
Well,
yeah,
not to mention he doesn't have the health buffer anymore, whereas before, he could eat a hit if he had to in a trade. He doesn't have that now. He doesn't have that safety net. The next hit takes him out.
he could even lose with a flash hole in hand to Willow Rian, because the timing sometimes does that. We're going to see some aerial attacks. Fortress is a shelter, however.
And he doesn't manage to dodge that last Willow.
I think he was trying to get behind the pole.
Yeah, game 1 goes to Xanxus. So far, this guy still hasn't even dropped a map. Been truly dominant. Yeah, that's the arsenal that we've just seen him use. Looks like they're going to highway. Is he going to use it twice?
He's running it back. I mean, we see kind of similar from Esper. Some of these players have a very high comfort zone with some of their arsenals, and they just stick with what they know works.
We saw some similar things like out of the Shadow Shield matches last night. Like I'd be surprised if he used more than 4 different arsenals over 3 different series.
Mayhaps it's just the difference between 1v1 and tag. In tag, you see people changing stuff up because you have 2 people able to compensate. But in 1v1, he's got to deal with it himself. So
we see Xanxus opening up some spaces so he can.
Oh, that turb looks bad in his hand.
Yeah. I mean, but this is Xanxus. Remember, he has absolutely no compunctions for overwriting things. So he's probably just going to go up there, overwrite starting point and turb, and just put the pressure on with Flamesword and Diabolical Trick. And he's not even going to sweat about it.
Kamikaze either didn't see the sword cancel, couldn't block it, or just let it go. Alright. We see some pressure maybe possible soon. 2 swords. The aura to use. Kamikaze has 2 shields and 5 aura. I don't know if I would play into that too heavily. I mean, that green aura means he's on nature. We could definitely see a fortress. Oh, Twister. That's something spicy.
And the Ice Sword.
Yeah, Ice Sword is a heavy play in 1v1. We've seen it from almost every match in some amount. It's obviously 10 seconds plus damage and aggression.
Huh, he overwrites the Diabolical Trick before the Turbulence.
Maybe he's worried about losing his own stats. Maybe he's worried about being popped again. He'd rather win by damage than by winning by popping.
Overwrites all 3 at this point.
I mean, it was a lot of purples plus the yellow to get early. Like 4 skills that are situational. It's kind of bad.
It is a rough start, and he's already overwriting the Armoros too. So
I think I'd buy it. If he holds on to a second heat, he's not in too much danger. We, of course, know he has 2 heats, and this is all of his stat fixing gone now.
But I mean, how much aura more does he want that he thinks he's going to be able to get just by the 1 overwrite? Or I just don't know what he's going to be grabbing next.
I think he might want to be able to like attack twice and block, or attack and block twice before he can leave. That's what I would feel safe doing. Kamikaze's obviously got no aggression. Triple lasers. 0% chance if Xanxus is dodging correctly. Oh, even lower 0. Okay, now he feels safe. Answer to the lasers. And Aura Cannon. We saw it once earlier, but he's still holding it.
Turn up some of the regular game volume a little higher, since there's no audio in this one besides the volume.
Interesting he chose to keep the flash hole. He must be more scared of triple lasers at this moment, or the vibration laser, or whatever could come.
I mean, in a 1v1 setting, I agree, and I had this conversation with somebody last night. I think I was talking to Shadow Shield, but I didn't capture his end of the conversation. He was asking, like, as a cartwheeler, if you're holding a flash hole, like, is it worth catching the Aura Cannon or trying to wait for something else? I felt like, nice photon wave. And I still feel, like I said last night, that it's really not worth the flash hole in a 1v1 setting to catch the Aura Cannon.
No, if you have something spammable, that's the much more.
Nice bait. Now that he's learned about the photon wave, plays it carefully.
It's going to be hard to do too many more times with the lightning sword, but could still do twice with the flame. Kamikaze's got to play safe. Maybe step into the photon wave, but we'll see how it goes.
Ooh, nice photon wave there, but knocks himself off.
Yeah, you know, I really want to have a blue if I was him, but getting rid of those stats, that feels a little better. It's still 2 shots either way. And, okay, we're back at parity. This Rian can spell the game. I don't like Reagan. Can we jump that at that angle, or is that just impossible?
The blaster down the stairs.
The angle of the Rian when you're like 45-degree angle.
I would have to see it again.
Oh.
But you know what? We can actually rewind. We don't have to worry about that. Let's rewind a
Oh my
little.
gosh, new technology, folks.
The technology is here. Let's see.
So I'm just curious about this angle, like from the top of here down. Like, is that at all dodgeable?
No.
No, I didn't think so. So that's just like, if he does that again, it's game. Kamikaze knows that. He can't stand there.
I looked away for 1 second because my wife was calling, and yeah, I didn't see it the first time, but now seeing it the second time, there's absolutely no real... Like, a Freya could, and, ooh, pole dodge.
That little pole is the tiniest thing. They both have known attacks. The Kamikaze, if he's holding the triple laser, everything is known.
Oh, and that one, he gets a little premature on that photon wave.
Yeah.
Xanxus up 2-0, still yet to drop a map in his group.
I've talked about Photon Wave before. It's a defensive skill, and when you try to use it too offensively, you can kind of backfire like that. You have a long wind down after you've used it, and it leaves you open for a couple milliseconds there that's very exploitable. Are we on Panorama, or did they ban that?
I think it goes to City.
Okay. I can see both of them being a little frightened of Panorama. It's just dangerous. We see some fun names of arsenals and some empty arsenal slots. We are in Panorama with a CQC. That sounds like melee skills. Maybe this is that key palm we saw yesterday? Or 2 days ago or something?
Yeah. QCQ or whatever that is. Yeah, that's his key palm deck.
CQC stands for Close Quarters Combat, gentlemen. And ladies.
Oh. Well.
I know that from it being said awkwardly by Solid Steak a number of times in my life. Shout out to people who like this series. Dreamville wants to be your friend. He's your family. Add him, please.
Wait, Dreamville is a family member of his?
Dreamville is Chrome Island.
Oh, that's... Oh, I didn't know that was Chrome.
Yeah.
I got a friend request from him myself the other day. I was like, who's this? Whatever. He plays Phantom Dust. I'll add him. Make
sure the next time Xanxus is playing a 1v1 match, everyone add him. We want to see it in your recording. It's like a shout out to you.
Was that 3 in a row?
I think so. Alright, so let's talk about this. We're playing Nature Key. We're probably playing Heats, Tiger Strengths, low-cost melee attacks, and spammable ranged attacks. Battle Fireball, Key Cannon, Key Palm, Hedge and Kick. That Rian got a Cyclone, but I don't feel safe.
Oh, and he already baits out the Iron Skin.
Iron Skin's pretty fast. He might be able to shoot it twice, but you know it's hard. It's just player irrelevant.
And he jumps and takes an even bigger one. Jeez.
I think the only answer really is you just walk out of it. Like, you have to walk further or attack.
Yeah. Xanxus, every time I see him play this, he puts on a master class of Key Palm. Like, I thought I knew how to use the ability and just didn't think it was that great. But I watch him use Key Palm and just absolutely abuse people.
We have a mixture of him knowing very well how to use it, and his opponents feeling uncomfortable in how to counterplay. And both of those are working to his favor. We're probably going to see him charge up somewhere up here and try to play him out. I might even try a manual hyper kick, just because he knows to expect the other. After jump, yep. Alright, Kamikaze's not in a beautiful place, but he has a lot of aura, he has lots of colors. Tiger Strength plus Rian is strong in these corridors, hard to cartwheel. But we're going to need something that's maybe a little better spacing to take advantage of it. Rattle Fireball, breaking stuff. I've talked before, cartwheelers want ways out all the time. That is super important. Is it a ricochet laser? Or is he just...
No, I think it's just Tiger Strength.
Okay, I'm just curious because he's waiting right there on the other side of that wall. I want to be ricochet lasering right there.
I don't think he has a ricochet deck, does he?
Well, he needs to. Okay, we're in pretty good spacing, but he knows the key palm's there. Interesting, he'll lose the aura no matter what, so now he can rest for a second. Very short second, he's got to play it up.
Good Cyclone. And he
Oh.
baits out the Iron Skin once again.
Ooh, that turb will be good against the Tiger Strength. We are now at the point where he's very one-shottable by this, especially with whatever green this is. He only needs to charge it up to 1, which takes a very short amount of time.
Oh, and the Hyper Kick can now break Iron
Yeah.
Skin, or, you know, just a slightly
Yep.
charged up Key Palm, too.
Yep, we got 3 lethal attacks in hand, no defenses, which might be awkward against the Zagonies, but
Baller cartwheel right there.
yeah. A very important but somewhat textbook dodge. Gotta get those big spaces. If he catches you in the staircase, you're done. Or you take 6, I guess. You're not really done.
I mean, he was in the staircase and he dodged it,
Right.
cartwheeling right against the wall.
Mm-hmm. It was good. Yeah.
That was perfectly timed.
You saw like a small backup followed by cartwheeling forward, and that's I think the only angle that would work. Anything else, you're getting hit there.
Mario makes a pretty good call there with the diabolical trick and gets 2 capsules.
Yeah, now he's running for his life, mind you, and Key Palm can't chase, but Hyper Kick can, and he knows he's got both.
He's in range.
Yep.
Oh, and
Key Palm.
the same thing. He gets baited partway through and he jumps.
It's interesting because Key Palm has one thing that no other close range key attack has, and that is it can't be walked to the side, or at least not at the same timing that Hyper Kick or Hyper Punch or High Speed Punch. You know, you can walk to the side and dodge these. So Key Palm is maybe an acceptance that those skills you need something to fake them out with.
Yeah, well, again, fantastic play out of Xanxus. Kamikaze doesn't quite roll over either. Those were good games out of him where he did make some good decisions and have good plays. Xanxus just looking like the full package right now, though. Really dangerous player.
Last time, I remember he used his ground lasers to great effect. This time, Key Palm. It's interesting that he likes to play up a skill that is less notable, learn it really well, and use it against people who probably don't see it a lot, because Key Palm and ground laser, they're not your top 20 plate attacks, and that's definitely a skill of his I'd like to see more of in the future. Yeah. Kamikaze, I'd like to see him, he played well. I think when I see his other matches, he's going to make a showing.
Yeah, congrats to both players here, and thanks for watching, guys.